Yo, welcome back to another episode of the Golden Era Now Show. Today we're talking about the real street raps, criminality, and from my perspective and what I see is that, before we get into that, what people perceive to be is real is only real to the person whose life that truly is when it comes to being an MC. If that's not really your life, that's not the real to you. If you listen to that artist and you're a fan of that artist, that's cool, but that's not real to you if you're not living that life. So that's where this conversation is coming from. Now, what we got to understand is that the majority of people that live in the hood are not criminals. There's a very small group of people in the hood that are criminals, that are drug dealers, that are scamming, stealing, whatever criminal activity they get into. It's a small group of people. The majority of the people in the hood are not criminals. And this goes for anybody on the outside who doesn't live in urban areas or is not familiar with urban areas. They also tend to think that everybody in the hood is a criminal. No. Small group of people in the hood that are criminals. Large group of people that are, if they're not kids in school, they're working. Most of the people in the hood work, or if they don't work, they might be on welfare or however they get their money, but they're not doing criminal activities to get their money. Majority of the people in the hood. But somehow, when we hear MCs, rappers rap about criminal activity in the hood, we say that that's that real stuff. That's that real shit. That's real life. When in actuality, for most people in the hood, that's not real life. You go to work every day and you have kids and you come home and you feed them and you help them with their homework. Or even younger people, they're in high school. They playing basketball with their friends, playing the video game, talking to girls. Even the majority of people in their 20s, they work in a job somewhere and hang out and go to the bar on the weekend. They go to the club on the weekend. But during the week, they're at work. They're at school. They're in college. The parents are working jobs, not criminal activity to get money. They're actually going to a job with a schedule, Monday through Friday. They're working 40, 50, 60 hours a week. They work at the plant. They work at fast food restaurants. People work at the grocery store. So, we can go on and on and on and on and on about the regular people. Not regular in that sense, but I'm saying regular as in not involved in criminal activity. So, how is that? The question is, how is what this small group of people does, this small group of people that live this life, why is it that we classify that as the real? Why aren't there more rappers rapping about how they go to work every day? They drive Uber. They drive Lyft. They doing odd jobs. They painting. They paint houses. They work at the car wash. Why aren't there more MCs or rappers that rap that? Because that's more of the real to more people than criminal activity. Like I said, most people in the hood are not involved in criminal activity. So why do we call that the real? Why we say that that's that real shit? That's real life, and it's 9 times out of 10, the person that's saying that that's real life, that's not their life. They've never even been to jail longer than overnight. The average person has not been to jail for a year, 2 years. Even the average person in the hood. The average person in the hood has not been to jail for no year or two. You go around, ask most people in your neighborhood, you ever been to jail for a year? Hell no. So that's not the real. You ever cut up an ounce of cocaine and cooked it and made crack? Hell no. Have you ever seen 10 pounds of weed? Hell no. Go up to most of the people in the hood. They don't have this, never seen this, and don't know what you're talking about. Have you ever shot a gun? Most people in the hood have not shot a gun. Despite them saying that that's the real and that's the life. No, that's the life of those rappers. And y'all like it, cool. But stop making it like that's the life of people in the hood. Because it's not. You're a spectator to that. Just like when you listen to the music, you're a spectator of their life. But that's not your life. You don't go outside and be looking over your shoulder. That's not the average person's life, even in the hood. The average person is not looking over their shoulder to see if an op is coming for them. People from the hood like to make it seem that way. I don't know why. Why do we make the hood seem like it's all bad and so dangerous? And really it's not. In the hood, it's very loving, positive community, really. For the most part of the people that live in the hood, in the community, they tend to their families, take care of their kids. They're going to basketball games, football games, soccer games, taking their kids to piano lessons, taking their kids to recitals, or even if the people don't have kids, they going to work. They hanging with their friends. They watching the basketball game. They going to the studio. They drawing pictures. Whatever they like to do. They're not trying to find out how to find the connect so they can get 10 kilos of that's not your average person's even thought process. They're not, it's not their lifestyle. It's not fans' lifestyle. So fans, I'm a fan. I don't do that. So I'm saying to other fans, I'm an MC fan also. But you got to stop making the hood seem like it's just this ultimately terrible, dangerous place where you just walk in on any block in the hood and you're bound to get beat up or shot. Now that may be that way in some areas of certain neighborhoods where the criminals are, but the average area in the hood, it's not. That's not going to happen to you. You can go in the grocery store with no problem. You can go into a liquor store with no problems and come out with whatever you bought and no problems. Certain areas you might not be able to stop at a gas station at a certain time. But for the most part, you're in the hood. You're safe to stop at the gas station. It's not we got to stop making the hood seem like that. The hood is not like that. To everybody outside of the hood is not an evil, dangerous place. that you have to be on guard 24/7 and everybody's trying to get over on you. No. And that's also the issue why everybody in the hood think that everybody's trying to get over on them, because we made this perception that the hood and everybody in the hood is bad. So now we see everybody in the hood is bad, not knowing that the person that we looking at seeing them as bad, they looking back at us seeing us as bad. You looking, they might scam me. They looking at you, you might scam me. But it's all from a thought that we saying that's that real criminal activity in the hood is the majority of the hood, but it's not. And this is not to say anything bad about people that are involved in criminal activity. Not maybe directly harming others. I don't think anybody really tolerates that, but in the criminal world, they have people that are paid to harm others. But that's in that world. It's not to say anything bad about them because they're in their own world. So I can't say something bad about a world that's bad and the people that in it even know it's bad. So what am I going to say bad about it? I just don't be a part of it and stay away from it. And that's the same thing that everybody should do. If you're not involved in that, it's okay to listen to it, but you don't have to glorify it, because the MC is always getting a hard rap saying that he's glorifying things in the hood that are, he's not glorifying, he's just saying his life. If he happens to enjoy that criminal life, then how can you get upset with him saying he's glorifying? You know, he's just enjoying his life. Who's glorifying it are the fans. The fans are glorifying it by saying that this is what the hood is, this is what the hood represents. Yeah, we'll do this to you if you come here. And this, those are fans doing that. The fans are making a glorification out of it, not the MC. MC is just the rapper. He's just rapping about his life. He's just speaking on what he does on a daily basis. But the fans, the people in the hood around it are glorifying and saying, yeah, that's that. Instead of just saying, oh yeah, that's cool, I like that. You can say that you like it without saying that that's what it is, that's that real, and just stamp it 100%, this what it is. And if you ain't talking like this, then like I said, that it really ain't how it is for the average person. So more raps about regular life, that you go to work, even if you attempting to get out of your job. More raps about how you attempting to get out of your job through non-criminal endeavors. It's okay to not be a criminal. It's okay to not be a criminal. It's okay to not be a criminal. Because you know what? Another classification that gets messed up is a street nigga. Okay, a guy who sells incense in the streets is a street person. He doesn't have a job. He's in the streets. He's talking to people in the streets. He's dealing with people in the streets. Because a street person, a street nigga, is just a person that does not work a job. That doesn't mean he's involved in criminal activity. But we classify street niggas as you doing criminal activity or you selling drugs. I don't understand. How is that? Because you in this, that's just criminal activity. That's not necessarily street. Criminal activity happens in the streets, but also good business happens in the streets, because criminal activity is still business. So it's still business transaction, even if somebody's robbing you. It's a business transaction. Even if you get robbed, that is a business transaction. Now you might have came out on got the short end of the stick in the business transaction, but nonetheless, it was a transaction, and it was business because it was about the money. So, all criminal activity is still about money. Even if you're scamming, it's money. You're robbing, money. Selling drugs, money. They're not selling drugs for the sake of selling drugs just to say they sell drugs. They're selling drugs for the money they can accumulate at a quick rate. And if these street niggas that y'all call had another way to accumulate the same amount of money, they wouldn't be selling drugs. So would they still be a street nigga? Or are you not a street nigga no more unless you sell drugs and do criminal activity? Because me, a street nigga is just a nigga in the streets. He ain't got no job, but he make his money. It's not a bad thing is what I look at it as, is what I'm saying. A street nigga is not limited to criminal. It's also, a street nigga is a business person that doesn't work at the regular job that most of the people in the hood work at. To me, that's what a street nigga is. Now, I know y'all think a street nigga is, like I said, criminal, drugs, guns. But to me, no. So we got to stop doing that as a hood community. So like I said, it's okay to like it, but we ain't got to make it seem like that's what it is and that's the real, because it's not for most people. It's really not. Not even close. Because the people in the hood glorify the killing. That's the sad part. People blame it on the music. It's not the music. It's not the rapper. It's not the MC. It's the people that listen to it. One person is saying something. But if 1,000 people push that, that's what makes it stronger. Now, if 1,000 people just like it, that's fine. But you don't have to push it as that's the real, and it's like I said, stamp it 100% approval. Because now, when you do that, as the fans, you make the people that are not even rapping, you make them become that because you glorify it. So it's the fans that are making people become more criminal because you're praising it, and then blame the rapper. Shame on you. Fans have to take more accountability within hip hop. The fans have to take more accountability within hip hop. I don't know about other genres. They can do what they want to do. I don't know about other cultures. They can do what they want to do. But in hip hop, music, hip hop, culture, the fans need to take more accountability, even to what you call hip hop. And I'm saying hip hop fans, I'm using that rather loosely because I'm speaking on people that just listen to rap, whether it be hip hop rapping or rapping. Because on the hip hop rapping is not the hood part, it's not the street part. On the more hip hop side, what they glorify that's not real, and that also hurts the same way as glorifying people as in criminal activity and glorifying the hood is that they glorify that if it's hip hop, then it has to be just extra educational and somewhat like a lecture. It has to be almost like poetry for it to be like, yeah, that's that real hip hop. But no, that's not. That's a part of it. You can do that way, but the majority of hip hop people do not rap that way. The majority of hip hop artists do not rap how they make fun of it, extra nominal, the full phenomenal. Most hip hop people do not rap like that at all. Not even close. That's from 8 Mile. Y'all got that from, and then y'all stretched it into how hip hop. But most hip hop MCs do not rap like that at all. Most hip hop artists are like rugged, unrefined. in a good way, I'm saying these things. They're like jagged. You know, they haven't been filed and smoothed. It's like a rigid edge knife. It's not like a smooth, but in a good way. But hip hop is somehow always limited to they got to be like this extra conscious, and that's the only type of style that hip hop is. Or it's limited to this certain type of methodical beat, just laid back beat, and that's just what hip hop is. And then the fans, what y'all do is y'all glorify that and say that that's what the hip hop is. But hip hop fans, we gotta start glorifying more of that rough, rugged hip hop. There's a lot of it out there. And that's really what hip hop is. It's rough, rugged, unpolished. In a good way. That's what makes it different. And there's different styles within that. It's not just the conscious rapper. It's party rappers in hip hop. It's street rappers in hip hop. It's criminal rappers in hip hop. So yeah, it's just not limited to the conscious, because y'all gotta understand. Wu-Tang is criminal street rap inside of that. You got Raekwon and Ghostface, so and that's still hip hop though. And they're not extra educational as far as a conscious type style with their rhymes. But that's hip hop. But then you can go to even I'll stick in that era since we talk about golden era. Now, we're still related to the golden era revival lesson. So you can have a Wu-Tang, criminal street rap is hip hop. And then you can have a Roots, more of a freestyle type conscious rap, not really criminal endeavors. Or you can have, since people talking about, you can have a Big Daddy Kane type rapper, MC. And then you can go all the way to a Ice-T. Both hip hop, but two sides of two different styles of how they relay it, and Ice-T have more of your street raps. But Big Daddy Kane is not going to have your street raps, but they still both hip hop. So the fans, y'all got to stop glorifying just the conscious as if that's the only thing that's in hip hop. Is that one conscious style, the one slow dragging beats. That's not only it. So I don't know. I hope y'all put in the comments what y'all think about this, about what I'm saying. Do you agree that fans need to take more accountability and stop putting all of the blame upon the MC, the rapper, the artist? How do y'all feel about that? Drop that in the comments. And that's going to end our segment for today of the Golden Era Now Show. Y'all can check us out, Rhyme Clinic, I think Golden Era Now on Bandcamp. Go check out the Rhyme Clinic music. Subscribe to the channel. Until next time. As they would say back in my day, I'm Audi 5000.